Good morning. I'm Joanne Gere. I'm the Executive Director for the Biopharma Research Council. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about who we are. But first, I really wish to thank Howard Young and Winston Kuo, who I don't think is going to make it here today. He was coming back from China yesterday, and he was promising he was going to do his best, but we'll see if he makes it here by lunchtime. They were really the instigators. So a couple of years back in 2014, both of them, they're on our scientific advisory board, and separately they each came to me and said, we should do something about the microbiome. So we developed a series in the spring of 2015, and then last fall at about this time, Howard, who's at NCI in Frederick, Maryland, was able to host us there for a microbiome program. And so we think this is an important topic and are likely to revisit again and again. The cornerstone of our organization is the great ideas that come from our community. We were founded in 2009, and most of our community is in the East Coast because we do physical events basically from Durham to Boston. And we also do virtual programs, so we have national and international participation as well. This is a really important point if you need, is that okay? If you need to be on, if you want to get online, it's pretty obvious. It's KU-AIR Open is your line. Our organization is all about bringing people together across all the different silos of biomedical research. So that includes researchers, but in today's world it also includes engineers, IT professionals, and so on. It's a really important interaction. We have about 10,000 in our community now, and so we feel like we're on the right track. Just to mention some of the things that we do, and some of these have already been done this year and will likely be done again next year. We did a really great program on cybersecurity for medical devices this summer, which was, recordings for these events are online, although with that particular one, there were a lot of things that were inside baseball that we were not allowed to publicize. But we were able to get NIH, HHS, FDA, NIST, and IEEE all on one panel to talk about cybersecurity issues and how they're collaborating, which was fantastic. We had an online program on point-of-care diagnostics, and of course today's microbiome program. Next week we go to Durham for, this is a theme that we visit on a regular basis, D3D, Data, Drugs, Diagnostics, followed by, back here in New Jersey, companion diagnostics. And there are some sheets on your tables about that program, and then our manufacturing expo. And you'll see there's a stack of very pretty little cards on your table, and there are more of them than there are of you, because we're hoping you'll take a few of those and share them with people that might be interested. It's a great agenda, and there's still some room in it if there's anything that you'd like to talk to us about. And here we go. I'm going to introduce Keith Bostian, who is the head of the Institute for Life Science Entrepreneurship, and our wonderful host today. Oh, I'm going to mention one other thing. If you're a Twitterer, we are at BRC Forum, We appreciate you sharing good ideas with the world. Dr. Bostian is an entrepreneur scientist with a distinguished career in industry and academia. He's held executive positions in numerous life science companies, founded Microside Pharmaceuticals, Iconics Pharmaceuticals, MPEX Pharmaceuticals, and Vanta Bioscience. Before this, at Merck, he led antimicrobial drug discovery, as well as discovery of new leads from natural products for Merck's worldwide drug discovery programs. The Institute for, well, I'm going to let him tell you all about what ELSA is. Keith.
Okay, I now feel compelled to go beyond a welcome and actually give a talk. Although I won't, I'm teasing, I won't do that. I do want to say good morning and welcome to Kean University and to the Institute for Life Science Entrepreneurship. We're just delighted to have the opportunity to host this BRC conference on the microbiome and also to have so many guests and researchers who have an interest and are active in the microbiome field. I recognize many faces out here, and again, welcome you to our institution. I was trying to think of something significant to say to introduce the meeting today, and it brought me back to my first experience with the concept of the microbiome. These are the papers that many of you are probably familiar with that Jeffrey Gordon published in Nature magazine on the relationship between microbiome excuse me, and obesity. And I mean, I can remember vividly, I was just stunned. It like opened up a whole new range of possibilities for an old microbiologist to get excited about thinking how microbiology and the microbiome could relate to all aspects of human existence and human well-being and extend even beyond that. I was right at the stage of just starting a new company called Mpex Pharmaceuticals. This was in 2006, for those of you that are not familiar with the publications. And I wanted to just stop what I was doing. Obviously, I couldn't, and jump into microbiome research. So here we are 10 years later at a real interesting inflection point within the field. I mean, we're going from academic research to translational science, from descriptive to predictive, to really understanding mechanisms that connect the microbial community and the metabolomics of that community with the host genome, the host metabolome. We're going from, even today, we're going from translational science to product development. There are many companies now that are actively involved in clinical programs or in development programs leading to products that all relate to the findings that have come from microbiome research. So to me, this space is obviously, it's one of the largest fields right now in microbiology. It's phenomenal, the insights and knowledge we're gaining about how these communities relate to each other and work. And it's just a fantastic period to be involved as an entrepreneur in an emerging field like this. And in fact, it's come full circle 10 years later in my involvement here in founding the Institute for Life Science Entrepreneurship. Our largest and most important research program is in the microbiome space. So I'm finally having the opportunity to get involved directly in microbiome research, in translational science, and hopefully in product development. So the Institute is a nonprofit organization serving the New Jersey, New York metropolitan area, designed to integrate and accelerate translational science research efforts in both academia and in industry. And we've been around for about a little over 2 years now. We have an events group within our organization that's involved with sponsoring this meeting. We have an incubator. We have some of our incubator companies here in the audience today, Eaton Bioscience. We have our own research center. In 2015, a little over a year ago, we formed a significant partnership and relationship with the American Type Culture Collection to form a Center for Translational Microbiology. And part of that relationship is working to do really applied translational research for the ATCC to develop new products and new approaches and new tools for the research community in the microbiology space. And we have a program that's involved with developing some advanced genomic tools for doing metagenomic analysis, for doing high volume, high throughput sequencing and annotation of genomes, creating filters for scientists to be able to not be dependent upon a bioinformaticist, but to be able to actually use automated software to filter through the genes and relationships of genes within bacterial genomes to be able to apply that directly to their research. Our goal is to have the ability to sequence and annotate a bacterial genome and provide that information in a data delivery tool for a cost to the end user of around $100 or less, which would then allow the research community to sequence and annotate any organism that they're working on before they start a project with that organism. So that's one program. Another program you'll hear a little more about is an effort to build QC reagents and and research tools for microbiome researchers. And the first steps of that relate to wet reagents that would be involved in standardizing experiments in microbiome research. And I think John Pace, who's the executive director of the center, will be describing the first product that we hope to roll out in the next few months with ATCC, which are tags for microbiome samples that can trace the evolution of the sample from inception all the way through to analysis of the data. And we'll have other tools that will be coming out over the next year or so. So on top of that, we want to form a very vibrant collaborative network. We'd like to have a beta group of world-class scientists around the world that can test these tools, that can guide us towards the right tools and reagents that we should be building for the microbiome community. And we would like to actually engage in research beyond tools and get into discovery programs for products, not only in the human health space, but in agriculture as well. Did you have a question? Yes, yes. Yeah, we had people from ATCC involved with us at that meeting. I think they may have been involved in the organization of the meeting. So anyways, that's the backdrop. I don't want to take more of your time. We've managed to have a wonderful, glorious day today weather-wise. If you have a chance, walk out onto the patio in the back. It's still a little bit hazy, but you can see a nice top skyline of Manhattan from here, which I get to look at every morning when I come into work. My last office was a room with no window at all, in fact, for maybe 15 or 20 years. So I guess it's another full cycle return on my past. But enjoy your day today. I'm looking forward to the presentations and learning more and meeting those of you that I have not already met to explore more how we might work together in this space. So thank you very much.